Hey guys, the Bungie stream just ended, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. To help me go over it is Ryan. Hello.
A lot of technical stuff this week, not as flashy as last week with the armor and stuff, but
I think we should just get right into it. First off, they showed a bunch of Crucible changes.
started off with reviving.
The biggest thing with reviving right now in the Crucible is that you don't have to commit to it if you have fast res. I believe they reduced the radius of the res point, and then it took a little bit longer as well. So you got to commit to that.
Well, it used to be 5 seconds, and now it's 7
It's like
seconds.
on the
to revive.
first one, yeah. Basically, it's gonna take like 7 seconds for you to get res the first time. Right now, if you die, you can be brought up so quickly at the start, and it makes teams that just want to like use res pieces and just keep resing each other. It makes it too easy. So they're increasing the timers, so they're gonna be dead for longer. So you're gonna have to like kill someone else. Lots of special ammo changes too.
So special comes in at 3 minutes, and then once again at 5 minutes.
Every 2 minutes after that. Heavy ammo, big change. It's only going to come once per match now. So it's going to come in at the 5-minute mark. And Mayhem, it doesn't affect the change. It's still going to be, really crazy there. But just...
Or trials.
Mayhem and trials. Same things there. No changes there. But in normal Crucible, once at the 5-minute mark. Apparently there's going to be more legendary drops. They tried to show that at the end, but I guess since it was a test build, it just showed a blank screen, and we're like, oh yeah, no, I recognize that. No rewards from the end of the match. It's completely normal.
Talked about Iron Banner. Instead of random legendary engrams, you're actually going to get just specifically Iron Banner gear and weapons and armor when you're in there. So it just feels like you're getting more Iron Banner stuff.
Lighthouse packages will be able to drop to 335. The Trials of Osiris bounty can be done daily, or the His Eyes Upon You one can be done once per day now. So if you want to keep playing throughout the weekend with different friends, you can still get rewarded for it. I think that's a fantastic change.
And then the bounties are going to be light level up to light level 330 rewards.
I really like that Lighthouse will reward max level gear.
As for Iron Banner, there's going to be 320 guarantees at rank 3 and 5. And then the bounties, there's going to be just some couple minor changes just to make it easier to complete the bounties.
That's it for the Crucible stuff. There's a lot of weapon changes. I'm just going to run through a bunch of stuff real quick here. Auto rifles, the high rate of fire ones, had reduced base damage, low rate of fire ones, higher base damage. So like Doctrine of Passing, we saw it got nerfed by one total damage. The lower rate of fire ones, I don't remember the exact numbers from that. Pulse rifles, the lower rate of fire ones, the base damage increased a bit. So Spare Change and Lyudmila are the two main ones right now. Those will see a damage bump as well. Hand cannons had an increased ammo reserves, which is really great. That's one of the biggest complaints about them right now. Fusion rifles increase stability on all fusion rifles. Snipers. Now here's the big thing with snipers. The 3 main scopes that people use in PvP: ambush, short gaze, and long view. Those got pushed up in zoom, so they're no longer, I think, like they're the short range scopes. Basically everything's gonna be, looks like those are gonna be medium range scopes. They added frames to the zoom in animation. Snapshot got nerfed as well. It's 20% instead of 30% quicker.
As far as exotics go, Mido being one of the most popular weapons, they've slightly nerfed it.
High caliber rounds got removed from it. My thing is, I really liked Mida in PvE because of high caliber rounds, but okay.
As far as Nerfs, it's going to have base damage increase. The spinning up perk is going to start a little bit later, so like about 4 bullets later or somewhere around there. And then the focus fire has an increased range. So it's a slight nerf to spinning up, but a buff to focus fire.
Because I was actually getting ready to do a review on this. I almost wrote the entire thing out, had all the footage done, and then like they announced sandbox changes, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait, because God knows they're going to adjust auto rifles in some way.
Hawk Moon, one of the old favorites, just a basic range increase. They said it's going to increase the accuracy, so you're going to be able to use it at farther distance.
That's my biggest criticism on Hawk Moon, aside from the ammo, which they are fixing as well. The Last Word had base damage decrease in the Last Word perk.
It's still a 3-shot kill. It's still going to be very powerful. They wanted to emphasize that it was just a slight damage decrease, so nothing major on that. And then Thorn, still a year 1 weapon, but they minimized the damage over time. So there's going to be 4 ticks of damage instead of 6, and there's going to be less intense effects.
The green on the screen, it was a very noticeable difference on the stream. I'm really happy to see that. And then they minimized the dot actual damage. It's as low as it can possibly be. Icebreaker, still a year 1 weapon as well. They basically they changed the issue where you could get ammo out of it by switching from the weapon after dying, and then they lowered the handling. I think the zoom distance has changed a bit. Yeah.
And then sidearms.
If you are going into PvP with a sidearm at the start of a match in Trials of Osiris to try to cheese special ammo, I don't know why you would do that anymore, because you're going to spawn in with special ammo anyway. Heavy ammo for machine guns and rocket launchers has been brought down in PvP.
But then in PvE, they said heavy ammo and actually special ammo is going to be increased. So you're going to see more of that in PvE. And then Dreg's Promise. The projectiles are tracking now, basically. They're not hit scan necessarily, but they still have travel time, but they're going to track much better than they did in year 1.
And there's one final change with Telesto where the projectiles, they don't recognize shooting at allies, so you could shoot through you could hit like Titan bubbles and they wouldn't do damage to anything, and then right now, or after the patch comes in, you'll be able to like shoot at an ally. The grenades will stick to them, but they won't deal damage to them, but it still will deal damage to an enemy. So you can like shoot Telesto at a friend and have a friend run into a group of enemies, and then it'll explode those enemies, and your friend will still be fine. It's a very odd change. I didn't think that that's how they wanted the weapon to be used, but hey, I guess I need to do another Telesto review.
Final popular weapon, even more popular than Mida, 1,000-yard stare. They just removed some ammo from the inventory, and the scopes, I guess, have been nerfed.
Well, I mean, it basically from what they said earlier, it sounds like the short-range scopes are no longer a thing. So everyone uses the short gaze scope on it, and short gaze had its zoom increase. So yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad to see it, change, but whatever. Zoom doesn't affect how good of a sniper you are anyway. One final thing that was changed to raid weapons. The machine gun, Quilm's Terminus, had reduced bullet inventory, and then all King's Fall weapons had their reload speed buffed, apparently. I'm happy. Maybe I can actually start using some of those raid primaries now.
And finally, let's talk about some subclass balance, specifically Warlocks. They've got pretty much a few changes for each subclass, starting off with the Sunsinger.
Basically, it's going to take longer for Flame Shield to recharge, like your melee charge is going to take longer. And then Fireborn will also shorten the duration of Radiance. So if you're choosing to get self-res, it's going to have a lower... you're not going to have like the same duration as someone that goes for Radiant skin.
So let's go to Stormcaller. Landfall, that perk was slightly nerfed, so it can't blow up a Titan's bubble.
The big thing is that Landfall won't blind anyone anymore, because right now Landfall, is basically a Titan smash that blinds everyone that didn't die to it, so then you can kill everyone anyway.
And then the super itself is a little shorter.
Voidwalkers, Nova Bomb, absolutely zero changes to it, which is good, because Nova Bomb feels good for PvP. I think it could use some help in PvE, but they increase the energy from abilities. So basically what this means is all your cooldowns are going to be improved, like your energy drain ability that will help recharge some stuff.
And then finally, Firebolts.
No changes to Firebolts. That was a very odd place to leave the stream off of, because everyone was like, what are you doing to Firebolts? What are you doing to them? And during the stream, I was looking at it and going, that's doing the same amount of damage that it's currently doing. There must be some weird behind the scenes stuff. Nope, no changes. And I'll have a very long rant to do on the podcast about it. I don't want to do it right here, but yeah.
Yeah, they weren't very specific about the changes, and the patch notes are going to be a lot more detailed, so we can go over it better. But The Sunsinger, again, was nerfed, so it's not that they weren't, you know, entirely affected. Just the Firebolt grenades are going to be unchanged. So with the other nerfs, I mean, it might not be as bad as it is, you know, now. And that was about it. This is going to drop on April 12th. It's a free update if you got the Taken King.
Yep.
Patch notes are going to go over all this stuff and more, everything that's been in the previous streams. I think that's about it for this video.
We'll see you next time, guys.